Hey guys, it's Miss Cindy. I'm here today to show you how to do a little craft. So out of the cereal box, some yarn, and some scissors, we are going to make a woven bookmark that you can use and you can customize. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your cereal box piece. I'm just using kind of a leftover chunk that I cut out. This is about as long as I want it, so I thought this would be a good length for the box to be. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut slits roughly evenly. They don't need to be perfect for the width that you want. So if you want kind of a narrower one, you don't need to make as many slits as I'm making. I think I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is probably good for me. So I have 5 here. I'm going to flip to the other side and do 5 again. They don't need to be very exact. If you do want to be exact, you can use a pencil and use a ruler to draw lines. I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball it. And you're going to go. Make sure it's the same amount and number though. 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's step 1. As you see, we got 5 on this side, 5 on this side. Now we can move on to step 2. So for step 2, what you're going to want is to take whatever thread or yarn you want your base color to be. I'm going to pick this one because I like how it's color changing. And what you're going to do is you're going to start, I'm going to say that this is my back and this is my front. So I'm going to start, let a piece dangle. You're going to take it and you're going to meet on the other side, down, and then back up to the next slit, down, and they meet, back up. This one's kind of in the way. To the next slit here. Keep going that way. Just make sure they go all the way in. And make sure you leave a fair amount on the end. So I'm going to just cut it at about here. We're going to cut these more later, but this is just so that you have enough to work with. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take a length of the first yarn that you want to start with. I'm going to start with some of the pink. If it's too little, you can always tie a knot and add more later. So I'm going to start, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a quick knot here. Just to get it started. And we can cut it later. So now that it's on and you have it, you're going to take the end and you're going to go over this first one that you made, this first string here. So I'm going to say this brown one, under the second one, over the third one, under the fourth one, and over the fifth one. It doesn't matter how many you have, you're always going to go over, under, up until you're done. Just to get this out of the way here, it'll make a little loop. See, it goes over, under, over. Now, to keep going, now you're going to want to start under, then over, then under, then over, then under. Basically, if in the first row you went over, now you go under. If in the first row you went under, now you go over. And it should make a loop. Don't pull it too tight, because if you see, it'll just start pulling on the thread and make it look kind of weird and wonky. So you're going to want to keep going that way. Just like that. Now this is going to take a little bit. that I want to stop here. Oop. I still have a little bit of thread to go, of pink thread to go, but what I want to do after I run out of the pink thread is to add white thread. So what I'm going to do is whenever you want to switch colors, and you can do this as often as you like depending on what colors you like yours to be. You just cut off a chunk of whatever color you'd like next. You're going to take these and you're going to tie them together. I usually like to leave a lot of room. Just do a double knot on them until they're fairly tight. Yeah, that's good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and just cut the ends off. You can even cut them a lot smaller so that you don't notice it when it's time. Now I have a much longer thread and it's going to change from pink to white. Okay, I've gotten most of the way through, so I'm going to go ahead and call this one done just to show you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and tie a knot the same way that I did before, except now it's a little harder. So we're going to go through and just loop it to a quick knot one. There you go. And then I'm just going to double knot it just because I like to, but you don't have to. And same as we did before, just cut the end off. We're going to do that for this piece now. Okay, so now you're going to take the back, you're going to cut these right down the middle. You can start, what you're going to do is take kind of a bunch. So let's say 3. So I'm going to take these 3 and tie them into a knot. This you do want to double knot. And then take this, tie this into a knot. They don't have to be very tight. They don't have to be like all the way down at the bottom here. They're just going to be kind of tassels. So there's a couple ways you could do it. You could do like I did the first time, wait, tie the knot first and then unclip it, or unclip it and then do it. It doesn't really matter one way or the other. I prefer to do it here first, but I'm just showing you 2 different ways that you could do it. And sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate and it just wants to come with you. So here we go. Since I have an uneven number of strands at my base here, I just took 2 and treated it as though it were 1, but it doesn't really affect the outcome one way or another. So you can do it 1 or you can do it even or odd rather. So I'm going to take just kind of, actually I like these kind of long, so I'm going to leave them and I'm just going to spread this out a little bit by just pulling on it here. And I'm going to take this, actually this one is a little bit too long, even for me. I like these to be kind of long. I'm going to take this, and it is pretty much ready to be put in my book. You can always make it, if you want it to be tighter, you could do that and push it up as you're doing it. See how this ends up a lot tighter, you can't see through it as much. You would have to do this as you're weaving. Just take it and then just push up with your finger like that. I like to keep it kind of loose, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is, but I am giving you a few options depending on how you want it. So let's say you want the whole thing tight like that. Either way, it is pretty much ready to be put into a book. Alright, so this bookmark is pretty much good to go. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you either subscribe or check back on our YouTube channel. We're going to have more crafts, more cooking with me, more story times for the little ones. So be safe, be happy, have a great day, and thank you again. Bye.